Shout out to everybody coming to us. This is another segment. This is Big Vern. You're rocking with the App Stupid Podcast. App like you got some sense. Hit the like and subscribe. We like that when you do that here. We like it when you do that here at the App Stupid Studio. Also, want to talk some NFL real quick. Ravens v 49ers tonight. This is a huge game. Number one in the AFC. The Baltimore Ravens, number one in the NFC, San Francisco 49ers. This is a huge game. I think it's so big that the best are playing the best on Christmas Day. The NFL really got it right now. And I know usually when these games are made in advance, they don't know how these teams are going to perform. But from a fan standpoint, and I think that's anybody, you want to see the best versus the best. The best versus the best will always be who people think they, I'm a fan of the Cowboys versus the Detroit Lions. It's always, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Not no shade to anybody in Detroit, no shade to anybody in Dallas. But those games seem like they always get played. And usually the fans, they never get to see the games that they want to see. Which, I don't know, got me asking this question. Is tonight's Ravens versus 49ers a Super Bowl preview? Or will the fans finally get the game we want? And the answer is, I have no clue. But it is worth discussing. It is worth discussing. And we'll talk about it when we come back with a quick 11-second break from an unofficial sponsor. Yes, so if you're looking for car insurance, homeowners, and life insurance, make sure you contact the good folks at VT Insurance Solutions. That's VT Insurance Solutions. Better rates, more choice, excellent service. All right, back to business. Now the Ravens 11-3, number one in the AFC. The 49ers 11-3, number one in the NFC. Somehow tonight they have the San Francisco 49ers as a 5-point favorite with the over and under. That's at 46.5. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, well, wait a minute. That's a lot of disrespect towards the Baltimore Ravens. And the reason that I want to go through that disrespect is that the total offensive rank for the Baltimore Ravens is number 2 this year. They're the number 2 highly defensive ranked Baltimore Ravens. The 49ers are the 9th ranked defense. And I know you got to play the game. This isn't about numbers. But when you look at a stingy defense that, concedes runners, the 49ers, they have an 89.4. So they're third in rushing defense, just allowing rushers at 89. They allow them those yardage. Then you got the Ravens. They give up about 102 yards. That puts them at 10th in the league. So guys like McCaffrey, he's going to have a 100-yard game just by the numbers. Everybody know the run sets up the pass. And if you're going to go ahead and try and shut down the run, then you're going to be limited and you're going to be a one-trick pony where you're always airing the ball out. Now, the thing that makes that logic, you kind of throw it in a trash can because you have Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson, when he decides to be Superman, this thing can get out of hand pretty fast. So I think that a 5-point favorite for the 49ers, I think it's disrespect. I don't know. I just think it's disrespectful. If you look at scoring defenses, the Ravens are the one scoring defense in the league. Right behind them is the 49ers. These teams are so evenly matched that this can go either way. It can be a blown coverage that could lead to a touchdown, and that could be the difference maker. It could come down to the kicker from Baltimore sealing that thing with one solo knockoff field goal at the end of the game, Tucker. And I'm just like, whoa. But a 5-point favorite for San Francisco? Oh my God. Third down defense, the Ravens are the 5th. the 5th third down defense in the National Football League. With all of these stats and them being so defensively rigid, I just sit here and I'm just scratching my head like, 5 points, really? 5 points? You have the Ravens losing by 5 points. The over/under is at 46, and you can cut that up a couple of different ways. Do you take the over? Do you take the under? I don't know. Red zone defense, red zone, stopping people in the red zone. The Ravens are the second best defense in the National Football League, stopping teams in the red zone. The 49ers are the 10th. And so you have, in a lot of these different categories, you have teams that are so evenly matched. It's like I said, it's razor thin, and sometimes it's a couple of different spots. But if you look at this game is really compelling. And it's one of those games, as a fan, you just love to sit here and watch. I'm not a Baltimore Ravens fan. I'm not a 49ers fan. I'm just a guy who's a fan of a good game. If I get great play on both sides of the ball, I'm fine. Really don't care about referees holding, because in football, everybody holds. I think I laugh and roll my eyes when they sit up here and say, oh, this person held. Everybody holds in football. But when it comes to games like this, the fans, I think the referees have to swallow the whistle. And it has to get very violent. These tackles have to be very coarse, very hard. Now, trust me, nobody's trying to end anybody's career. That's Bush League. But I remember a couple of years ago when Harbaugh, his brother, he was in San Francisco, and they played the Seattle Seahawks. That was the most physical football game that was out there, and we love that kind of stuff. Here in the Midwest, the Big Ten country, the football, we like it physical. We even like basketball physical. So to see that kind of game and that kind of roughhouse come right back on Christmas, oh my goodness. Because there's nothing open today. You're going to see your in-laws. You're going to get something to eat. Some of you all will go to the movies. But for the majority of people at home, you're going to see the NBA. And there's some good games on it, the NBA. But then when it comes down to Monday Night Football, this is a throwback to the era where Monday Night Football used to be really good. This is one of those matchups. But I could be wrong. How do you feel? Do you feel like the Ravens are disrespected? Do you feel like too much is given to the San Francisco 49ers? Also, you got, like I said, Superman is in the building. I'm just excited to see what Lamar Jackson is going to pull off. The kid is already at 3,000 yards with 17 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. He's having a phenomenal season. His QBR rating is at 98%. And I'm just sitting here saying to myself, his completion ratio is higher than it's been in the last 2 years. This kid is big time. And this is one of those blockbuster nights where you want to be in front of the TV and say, hey, look, if they don't go to the Super Bowl, we've seen a Super Bowl-esque. This is Big Vern, and I'll be right back with some more NFL talk, the playoff picture, who's in, who's out, and who needs help. As always, like, subscribe,